So now we're at Mr. Keith Price. Okay. We know why Kamal Woods is doing what he's doing. We know what his quid pro quo is. We know Max Solomon on a scale of 1 to 10. His attorney game may be like, I don't know. I don't know. You tell me what you think it is. But Max Solomon, we know, hey, we think it was just attorney-client relationship. He may think there was some visibility there that could help in his mayoral run. Maybe if he could get a win on a case, it could be some good press. So we kind of get what your quid pro quo is. I would love to see how much he was charging her for that terrible service, because that's like stealing. God damn, you ain't do anything right and you still got paid. Woo, that dude's stealing. I would report him for ineffective assistance of counsel. All right, so now let's pivot to Mr. Keith Price, the food assistance program manager. Everybody just keep calling food pantry guy. We got to put some respect on his title. So when I first Googled his name, this is one of the first things that popped up. Let's go and share the screen. But this is, to be fair, this gives us an inclination of, okay, we know who we are dealing with. This is old, but historical things give us context. It doesn't mean that this is who he is. It doesn't mean you can't change, but it does show like, yo, one thing we do know is Tiffany Henyard loves to have people in her circle who got some type of checkered past. I don't know if it's whether it's your license suspended, you whooping somebody's ass, something's crazy going on, but there's always a little bit of shadiness in most of the characters' past that we can see here. Now, so let's go ahead and jump into this because I just want y'all to get the facts. Even though this is old, this gives us an inclination. And there's some things that are in here that I'm like, that's actually a good quality. Probably not how you should have went about it, but a very good quality nonetheless. So let's take a look at this litigation. All right, this is from 2012, appellate case in the Court of Illinois' First Judicial District, Christopher Wilson versus the City of Harvey versus Keith Price, the defendant. Okay, we're not going to go to the order. All right. Here. Okay. Plaintiff Christopher Wilson suffered injuries after being physically attacked by Keith Price, who at the time of the altercation was an elected official of the City of Harvey. Wilson subsequently filed a complaint naming Price and the city as a defendant. The procedural aspect, the city responded to file a motion for summary judgment, which means they're trying to get the case dismissed before trial, which was granted. On appeal, Wilson argues that the court erred in granting their motion to dismiss, blah, 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 blah. Let's just get to the facts in the background. Because this just gives us a sneak peek of who Mr. Price is, and this is literally the first thing that popped up when I Googled his name. The underlying facts regarding the physical altercation are undisputed. So everybody agreed this is what happened. In 2007, Price was elected to serve a 4-year term as an alderman of the 6th Ward of the City of Harvey. Shout out to him for trying to serve the people. Can't fault anything wrong with that. As an elected official of the city, Price received a yearly salary, health benefits, and an expense account. Price was not provided with an office or phone line. Rather, Price had his own hours and responded directly to calls made by his constituents to his personal cell phone. Now, right there, hey, shout out, I don't know if y'all try to reach a politician. Politicians can be hard and difficult to reach. So, hey, we got to give him a round of applause for making himself available. He's representing his community. He wants to be an advocate. When they call, like, yo, here's my personal cell. Hit me on my line. I got you. So far, so good. All right. Let's see. Price did not take any directions from the mayor, members of the city council, or any other elected official. I like that. I likes that. I like an elected official who's not being puppeteered around. Like, yo, everybody agree. He didn't take any direction from anybody. That's how I want my public officials to be, especially at the local level. Like, hey, I like that first paragraph. Shout out to you for that first paragraph. Pursuant to chapter blah, 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 the City of Harvey's municipal code, Price, as an elected alderman, was considered an officer rather than an employee of the city. The definition for these designations are set forth in chapter of blank, blank, blank of the city's municipal code, which in pertinent part provides Employee means a person employed by the city of Harvey, whether on a full-time or part-time basis pursuant to a contract, whose duties are subject to the direction and control of an employer with regard to material details of how the work is performed, but does not include an independent contractor. That's basic torch law. Independent contractors have freedom. Employees are subject and have rules that they have to follow. Officers are. I'm an officer of the court. An attorney is an officer of the court. If a CPA goes before the IRS to argue a case, he's going to be considered an officer of the court. So there's a certain standard, a certain level of truthfulness. That's generally what it means. Officer means a person who holds by election or appointment an office created by statute or ordinance, regardless of whether the officer is compensated for services in his or her own official capacity. Okay, during Price's tenure as alderman in the Sixth Ward, he responded to calls from his constituents regarding various public concerns. So far, he on his job, such as the presence of potholes, abandoned homes, and noise disturbances. I be calling for that shit. I love ordinances. As I got older, the older I get, the more I love ordinances. Don't come disturbing my peace. All right, Price on May 22nd, 2008, Price received several calls on his cell phone from senior citizens. You really got to give deference to the seniors who resided in the Sixth Wards regarding the presence of illegally parked cars in front of Midnight Auto Express. I hate that shit. If there's a car parked on my street, you got a couple of days. If it's there, is this up to no good? It's getting removed. I agree with you all. A car repair shop located in South Halstead near the intersection of Halstead Street and Calmet Avenue. The callers complained that the cars posed a safety hazard because they impeded their view of the oncoming traffic when they attempted to turn on Halstead Street from, Calmet Avenue. In response to the phone call, Price drove to Midnight Auto sometime around 6 p.m. This dude is going above and beyond to fight for his constituents. So I don't know. So far, I like everything about where these facts are. It is what it is. Okay, so he drove to Midnight Auto around 6 p.m. that evening. When he arrived, Price saw a number of cars that were parked illegally. Okay, he corroborated the call. Okay, I like what you're doing right here. After he saw that, he then spoke to Wilson, an employee of the repair shop who was working that evening. Price asked Wilson to move the cars, but Wilson refused to do so. During a heated conversation that ensued, hey, I like that. He got some passion. Price punched Wilson in the face and the head. Whoa! Whoa! He punched Wilson in the face and in the head. Now, I will say, if I'm representing you, you asking my guidance, that is not the best way to proceed. But if I made that call and you're arguing for something that I want done, I'm going to call for you to be above and beyond trying to do the right thing for the senior citizens. I'm not saying that's the route he should have taken, but with those facts, I would probably be more inclined to vote for you as opposed. I would be more inclined to, hey, that alderman, oh, we're going to reelect him. That dude, he about his business. That's just me. I don't know. Y'all let me know. All right. So he punched this guy in the face and the head. Wilson was knocked unconscious and fell to the ground. Damn. Knocked unconscious, fell to the ground, received various injuries as a result of the attack, and a broken jaw. The physical ultimately resulted in both criminal and civil proceedings. In the civil proceedings, they named Price in the city. The city's liability was premised on Wilson's assertions that at relevant times, Price was an alderman employed by the city. That's that res ipsa loquitur. You are acting within the auspice of your employer. So we're going to, in your employment. So we're going to sue your employer. Now, that's as far as we needed to dive. Charges ensued, but that gives you a preview of who Mr. Keith Price was at that time. Those facts aren't necessarily the worst facts for me. As an attorney, it's your job to provide zealous representation to your client. The general rule is if you're an attorney, if you've never been threatened to be held in contempt when arguing something for your client, you probably aren't doing your job right. So, hey, he zealous representation for his constituents. Now, he probably shouldn't have knocked the dude the hell out. Falling, getting knocked out could lead to a fatality. All bad stuff, but sometimes, hey, I wish, I wish my council member had that type of passion. Sometimes, let's just keep it above. So now let's pivot to the document. We're back to quid pro quo, and I was like, what is the benefit that Keith Price is getting as the food pantry guy? So I needed to know his salary. Let's go ahead pull up this document. Let's go ahead and pull up this document. We got this document right here on the screen. Salary discrepancies under Tiffany Henyard by the Tax Help Office by my guy, presented by Todd Wynn, who is an enrolled agent. He's verified. I had a conversation with him. He allowed me permission to utilize this on the live stream. So, in light of that, I'm going to read this about his company. Tax Help Office was founded in August of 2022. Our slogan is to help our slogan is help has arrived. We stay true to the slogan by providing the best help possible to those in need of most help. Our leader, this is the gentleman we talked about, his background, his education. He's official. All right. Disclaimer. I like this. As an attorney, I like this. I like you to cite your sources. Where did you get your information from? And this is beautiful. FOIA requests. Data are pulled from FOIA requests by Edgar County, Watchdog Inc., other members of the public, and I. Governance salary websites. Data is also pulled from websites such as govsalaries.com and openthebooks.com. Websites where you can get salary information. Gov Salary wanted me to pay for it. I was like, nah, bro, I don't need to know what he made that bad. But we got it. All right. Assumed data for the village of Dalton. Tiffany Henyard was elected the mayor, blah, blah, blah. Assumed data for Thornton Township. Tiffany Henyard assumed the role as a supervisor in March of 2022. And the 2024 Thornton Township report. Now, there's a bunch of named individuals here. With their photo. We're gonna scroll away. We're gonna go past Mr. Conway, Stacy Carell. We're gonna roll past him. We're gonna roll past Terry Young. We may revisit some of these people, but we're gonna focus in on Mr. Keith Price. Okay. Now, what is the quid pro quo? Because you, my friend, you are 10 toes down. Like you is like Ace Boone cool have been standing in the background in your sweatsuits. Then I was like, I never see this dude in the suit. Then he popped out in the suit to get people kicked off the ballot. He is going above and beyond. He is getting the food boxes where they need to go. Presumably, he's calling cat when people are spreading purported misinformation. I was like, bro, why are you so down? What did you get? How much are you making as the food pantry guy? Okay, food assistant program manager of Thornton Township. This is hilarious that this is a tab in here. Beat an auto shop worker unconscious, which, I mean, to be fair, it is the fact. Convicted of battery in 2008. Spent 120 days in custody for an incident of domestic battery. Like, I tend to give people grace. We all make mistakes. This shit is old. 99. That was back in my heyday. I was a young man back in those days. All right, let's take a look at before Keith Price, before and after Tiffany Henyard until 2023. In 2022, his compensation received was $52,530.61. No pay raise from the prior year. Like, yo, that's terrible. I know how it feels. I've been in positions where I didn't get pay raises. Look at the increase the next year. Under Tiffany Henyard's leadership, reign, whatever you want to call it, during her tenure, the next year, he got a salary increase of 53.1%. That is crazy work. 53.1%. So his salary went from $52,000 to $80,417.60. So now I think we clearly know. I think we clearly know what the quid pro quo is. Because let's just think about it. Two people who probably want Tiffany Henyard to win, probably a lot more. We've probably seen some of the names as we scroll through this, but two people who I know unequivocally want Tiffany Henyard to win all of her elections, probably more than her, if not just as much as her, is Kamal Woods and this brother right here. A $30,000 raise is a big deal. So the quid pro quo is this: I give you this raise, you have you have my back. I want your loyalty. That's definitely the quid pro quo. So 30 racks is a $30,000 pay raise is no slouch. Like I don't know if you all ever had like you go from making 25,000, then you get a new job after you get some experience, and you make like $45,000, and you're like, oh man, you think you rich, you think you rich until you realize you aren't. But that's a big ass pay raise. $30,000, you will definitely. It's not like you get an extra $2,000. You may see an extra 25 bucks in your paycheck after taxes, and you pay everybody. That's a significant pay raise. $30,000 for your pledge of loyalty. Hey, that's the going rate for quid pro quo to have my back. All right, so that was in 2023. Now they probably can pull data regarding his salary in 2024, but they have his expected salary, his average monthly compensation in 2024 was $7,201. Expected calendar year compensation of $86,000, 415,000 in 2024. Percent raise compared to 2023, 7.5% raise. Percent raise compared to 2022, 64.5. Now, 7.5 is still a generous raise. Like I think federal government workers got like a 2.5% raise. Military got a 4%. E1 through E4 in the military got 14%, as they should, because they do all the grunt work and they are the lowest paid. So if somebody say, hey, you're going to get a 7.25% raise this year, that's actually a good rate considering the average, on average, not now, but on average, inflation is 3 to 4%. So your raise is beating inflation. So that's actually a good thing. But this dude got a 53% raise from 2022 to 2023, from 2022 to 2024, in total 64.5%. So, hey, that is quite showing and quite telling. And in all candor, and I mean, honestly, I'm just be honest. If I were Tiffany Henyard, he would be my, like, hey, if I did have the ability to put somebody in the seat, it would definitely be that guy. Like, I don't know. I, I think this guy, this is just me. I mean, y'all have been looking at this story probably longer than I have, but this guy, from the time I've started covering this story, and my first story was when she had the Nino Brown outfit on, which was crazy work. But from the time I started covering this story, this past 18 months, this dude has been leader of the pack in the I'm down with Tiffany Henyard no matter what you say. So hey, if I were Tiffany Henyard, if you're gonna nominate somebody to sit as a trustee, shout out to the food pantry program manager, food assistance program manager. He should get it. I mean, but that is the quid pro quo.